This Saturday, we have a magnificent concert with Orion Weiss piano playing Bach's Goldberg Variations. As a pianist, we all understand that there are actually three massive, iconic works in our repertoire, which are really required by any serious concert pianist who's going to make a career. Two of them are by Beethoven, and that would be the Hammerklavier Sonata and the Diabelli Variations. The third is these Goldberg Variations by Bach. Each of these three pieces lasts approximately an hour, give or take. In the case of Bach, the story about how this came to be known as the Goldberg Variations, which may or may not be true, but we like it, is that Bach went to visit a friend of his who was having trouble sleeping. And this friend had a harpsichordist who was employed by him, whose name was Goldberg. Mr. Goldberg at that time was the age of 14, and Bach apparently was paid a good sum of money to write a piece for the young Mr. Goldberg to play for his friend so that he could fall asleep. This is perhaps the most magnificent music ever written as a sleeping pill. It consists of an aria, aria being a song, which is the theme of the piece, and that is followed by 30 variations. The variations are not made or derived from the actual theme of the aria, but rather they're derived from the bass line of the aria, which serves as a kind of harmonic backbone and structure for each of the variations. Bach formulated these 30 variations in a very concise and strict way so that every third of the set, and the set he really wrote as 10 sets of three. Every third of these variations is a canon. Canon is simplistically row, row, row your boat. In other words, the same thing displaced by a number of beats. And each of these 10 canons of the 10 sets of three, each of these third pieces is a canon, and each one of them changes by one interval, so that every time the interval is larger at which the canon takes place. One would assume that this kind of rigorous limiting of possibilities, this kind of straitjacket of structure, would result in a piece being very dry or very limited in its emotional content. But actually the opposite is really true. And Stravinsky even once said, the more limitations that you put upon something, the more possibility for breaking out of those exists. And in the case of this piece, the 30 variations progress from the first to the 30th in a way which is constantly riveting, constantly changing, and across the vastest emotional palette possible. At the end, not succumbing to the idea of needing to finish with anything flashy or more than what has been accumulated, Bach has the incredible genius to go back and literally play the first aria from which all of these variations derived exactly as it was at the beginning, coming to a kind of bookend conclusion which leaves one fulfilled in a way that very few pieces can.